So there's a couple weeks left in the Halloween season, and you know what that means? We got to get ready for Christmas. And that's because the Christmas season at Disneyland pretty much starts like the day after Halloween. I mean, they take those decorations down that night, and they immediately start working on Christmas decorations in Disneyland. I know that the New Orleans Square decorations are already up, and then you'll start seeing, they'll start sprinkling in decorations and merchandise and food treats and stuff like that. So you got to get ready now. We got to prepare fresh baked. For those of you who are coming to Christmas or Disneyland at Christmas this year, we got to get you guys ready. And like a lot of you, I think that the Christmas season at Disneyland is truly wondrous. It's just a spectacle for the eyes and for the senses, and it's magical. It's Disneyland magic plus. But there's a lot of stuff to do at Christmas, and it's like kind of a microcosm of Disneyland as a whole, in that you can't just do Disneyland in a day, and you can't just do, you can't see everything there is to see for Christmas at Disneyland in a day. It takes 2 or 3 days or multiple visits or whatever, but what we're going to try to do for you guys is we're going to try to distill that and give you sort of a bucket list, a to-do list, things that you really should see, and we're going to try to tailor it for somebody maybe only visiting for a day if we can. And along the way, I'm going to try to give you guys some tips or some pointers on how to best take advantage of some of those, shows and events that happen only at the Christmas season, so that you can get in as much Christmas as possible on your next visit. So let's just start with the rides. First and foremost, there's the Haunted Mansion with the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. And I don't want to get into too much detail about that attraction because pretty much everybody knows about it, right? But I do want to say up front that we at Fresh Baked love the Haunted Mansion overlay. It is just amazing, and I believe that it needs to be experienced by everybody, even if somebody who's not a Nightmare Before Christmas fan like myself. I mean, I do like the show, or the movie, but it's not on my top, favorite Disney movies. But the attraction at the Haunted Mansion is amazing. What I do want to say, though, is that you want to, when you go, take advantage of the Fast Pass. They turn this on usually only for the holiday season, and it's only usually about 45 minutes to an hour. It's hardly ever more than that, and that's a great opportunity for you to do other things that you're going to do anyway, hopefully, while you wait for your Haunted Mansion Fast Pass. It doesn't take long for you to get it, and you can get another one in another 45 minutes. And what's great about it is that you get put in really deep into the line. Usually, right by the house or even to the front door sometimes. I've gone in twice through the front door with my Fast Pass. Next up is the It's a Small World holiday overlay, which again is kind of an obvious choice, but I'm saying it out loud because you have to see it. I mean, it's imperative. It doesn't take long, so go down there and ride that attraction. But again, what I want to get into more is about a tip, and that is to ride during the day, because the interior, it doesn't matter if you're day or night, the show inside is the same. Ride it during the day. It's less crowded during the day than it is at night, and not because the ride is more popular at night, but because they have the nighttime parades and things that are going on, and that queue is a nightmare sometimes when they mix the parade crowds with the Small World crowds. You don't want to be caught on that. We happened to us last year, and that was one of the few times I'm like legitimately nervous and scared about what was going on. And you should see the facade at night because it's beautiful. It's really well lit up for Christmas. But just do a drive-by. Walk down there, look at it. Ah, gorgeous. Do a Chevy Chase at the Grand Canyon. Okay, we got it, and then move on. And our last tip for things to do or attractions to see at Disneyland during Christmas is the Jingle Cruise. They did this. The first time they did this was, now it's going to be 3 years ago, and it was really spectacularly boring. They just dropped a few ornaments and like theming in the queue itself, garland and little jokes or whatever. But that was it. There was nothing in the actual Jungle Cruise. Last year they upped their game quite a bit. They put more theming into the queue, and they dropped a bunch of stuff. Well, what the story was that there was some kind of ship, or what do you call it, plane or whatever, carrying Christmas decorations, and they lost their cargo. It all fell over the Jungle Cruise. Fruitcake and garland and Christmas decorations everywhere, and that became part of the attraction. In fact, one of my funniest memories of a Jungle Cruise, joke was at the hippopotamuses. It was something about a fruitcake, but it was hilarious.
Why, the reason these hippopotami are agitated and angry is the fruitcake invasion. Oh no, that hippopotami is gonna try to give us fruitcake! We don't want any! Cover those ears, folks, I'm gonna try and scare him away! We don't want any!
So hopefully they're keeping that tradition going this year, and then maybe they've upped it a little bit, plussed it some more. But I do recommend checking out the Jingle Cruise. So let's talk a quick moment about food. We all know that if you wrap a treat or a meal with a seasonal twist, it's automatically going to be better, right? I mean, am I right? Popcorn is not just popcorn when it's served in one of those, Mickey Christmas-themed buckets and served by a Santa popcorn turner. I mean, that's just scientific fact. So what do we recommend? Well, there's the pumpkin beignets at the French Market. There's the handmade candy canes that you can get on Main Street. I mean, they literally make them on site. You can watch them make them. If you get a chance, if you see them doing that, by the way, take 5 minutes to just watch them make candy canes. They make a lot of stuff in those windows on Main Street, but watch them make the candy canes. It's pretty amazing. Or a crushed candy cane waffle cone at the Gibson Girls, another one of my favorites. Now, this changes, I think, each year they kind of make a different treat. But whatever it is that they're serving at the Gibson Girl that's Christmas themed, we're into it. We're good with it. Get it. And don't forget the turkey dinner sandwich served at the Earl of Sandwich in downtown Disney over there by the movie theaters. They serve this year round, but again, it tastes better. It tastes better during the holiday season. By the way, if you do get to downtown Disney or if you're at the Earl of Sandwich, there's an ice skating rink right there, and it's really cute, and you should check that out if you have a few minutes. You don't necessarily have to skate. You can just watch and enjoy. They got these little kiosks set up where you can get some nice treats or a gift or whatever. I mean, it's really neat, and you can watch people skate around. Usually they don't start the actual skating, I think, until later on in the afternoon. As a matter of fact, I think it's kind of expensive to rent the skates. I mean, I guess you could bring your own, but you got to pay for the rental and pay for like 30 minutes of time or whatever. But I mean, just go there and take a look at it. It's totally adorable. And the rest is up to you, Fresh Bake. Candies and treats and fun things to eat are a personal choice. But whatever you do, get something, at least one thing that is seasonal. It brings you into the season. All right, what about shows? David, we want Christmas shows. What do you recommend? Well, or me. Wait, who am I? Not you, me. What do I recommend? What does Fresh Bake recommend? Well, first and foremost, there's the Christmas parade. In previous years, this was done twice daily, but because of Paint the Night, they're going to do it only during the afternoon this year, and then they're going to run Paint the Night at night because they don't call it Paint the Late Afternoon. But I digress, and I say that even if it means you have to skip the Paint the Night parade. I know it's difficult if you're there for a single day to do a whole bunch of fun Disney stuff, ride rides, see shows, and do all whatever to do all that and see two parades. I don't think it's possible, really, at least to make it fully enjoyable. So I would say scratch Paint the Night, and not because Paint the Night isn't awesome, because it is my favorite show of all. But it's Christmas, and Christmas means Christmas parade. You have to see the toy soldiers walking down the street, and you have to see the gingerbread men and the guys that are skiing. You have to see all that stuff. So take the time to see the Christmas parade. The good news is that there are spots where you can catch it, at later on in the point. The best seat is on Main Street, and for that you're probably going to want to get there at least an hour early, maybe 90 minutes, in order to get a spot to sit on the curb on Main Street to see the Christmas parade. But if you go down towards Small World Mall, there are spots all along there where it doesn't look like there's seats at all, and you can just drop your butt right on the ground. Think of where the teacups are, and that's a crossing point. That path that goes from the teacups to the Matterhorn is a crossing path, and then everything towards Small World is just it doesn't look like you can sit there, but you can definitely sit there. So at about a half an hour before the show, you might be so lucky as to see nobody there. Just put your butt right on the cement right there. But yeah, you can get there pretty late, maybe half an hour, and you can catch the Christmas show. And my last piece of advice for Christmas shows at Disneyland is Viva Navidad. That's done at DCA over by the Paradise Gardens by the Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta. This show, Fresh Baked, is phenomenal. It is energy and the music and the dancing and the characters, and it's just fun. It's so fun. Mickey and Minnie are great. The floats are amazing. They're like, I don't know how tall they are, 15 feet tall floats of Santa Claus. But it's not a parade. It's just a very long show that kind of moves laterally like that a little bit. The dancers do anyway. But there's a stage that's fixed in the center. So don't expect to get the same view as everybody else, no matter where you sit. The best seats are right in front of where that pizza and beer joint is, next to the Silly Symphony swings. That's the best view. That sets you right up in front of the stage where Mickey and Minnie dance. And I think it's it's the Three Caballeros that dance there. Mickey and Minnie come out on bikes later. Oh my God, it's so cute. They come on. Anyway, that's the center stage. And then the dancers and the floats, they move. They're kind of like this, right? And that's really what it's about anyway. So, I mean, you can't sit to the left or the right. You're just going to kind of a sideways glance at the floats, but really pay attention to the dancers. They're just so amazing, you guys. The dancers are great. It's authentic, and it looks like they're having the most fun anybody has ever had, ever. I will give you this one tip, though, in terms of seating. Don't sit on the boardwalk pizza and pasta side. Sit on the Silly Symphony side, because otherwise the stage is going to face away from you. But even if you have to sit on that side, it's okay, because like I said, really the key thing is to be able to see the floats and the dancers go by, and you can see them from any direction. And while you're at DCA, make sure you check your program guide for when the Buena Vista Street bell ringers are playing. This is an adorable show also. Very, very Christmassy, very unique to DCA. A lot of fun. It only costs you like 15 minutes worth of your time. Even if you catch half the show, it's worth it. And they play regularly throughout the afternoon. So give yourself a few minutes to check those guys out. They're on Buena Vista Street, and they sing and they ring bells. It's it's just Christmas magic. And there are also carolers at Disneyland, though I don't remember ever seeing them on the schedule, on the the little times guide, so I'm not sure where they show up. I ran into them, on Main Street and at the front gate where you first come in, but I think it's pretty random. Hopefully this year maybe they'll put it on the app, right? They've got the new Disneyland app, so maybe we'll check that out. But what if you happen to hear them or see them, again, take 5 or 10 minutes and check out the carolers. It's awesome. And we'll wrap the segment on shows with this tip that if you're looking to save some time, compress stuff as much as possible, and you got to give something up, give up the World of Color. I'm not sure if they're doing the seasonal Christmas type show. I think I don't remember what they called it last year. It wasn't very good, to be honest. And so that means that it's going to be the World of Color Celebrate. That's not Christmassy at all. So if your mission is to experience Christmas at Disneyland, you don't need to see World of Color. And I'll close with these to-do list items, which aren't, neither show or attraction or anything like that, or food. But I think you should experience them. Do meet Santa Claus, either at Buena Vista Street, I think it's at the Elias and Company, or at, which I still think they're going to do it at Big Thunder Ranch, but not at the Jamboree, but where they have the... I'm talking about where the goats are. Okay, I think he's going to be there. And meeting Santa is not just for kids, by the way. If you have kids, definitely do it. Okay, that's a must do. But Kitty and Mario and I did this last year at the Big Thunder Ranch, and Kitty met Santa, and he actually said fresh baked, I think.
Cookies are my favorite, but I like fresh baked muffins also.
All right.
And it was really fun. We enjoyed it. So take a minute. Get there early, though. Wherever he's at, try to get there early if you can, obviously, because the lines get a little long later in the afternoon. Definitely do see the Christmas tree lighting ceremony in DCA on Buena Vista Street near Carthay Circle. It's just amazing, you guys. It's right about dusk. It's just before the sun is set, and you get bell ringers, you get cast characters, you get DCA citizens, and if they do this whole production and they make a big deal about it, like it's a community event. It's really fun, and it's way better, by the way, the Christmas tree lighting. Well, I don't even want to call it a ceremony at Disneyland because they just turn them on, and then the lights go on down Main Street, which is neat, but not anywhere near as fun as the DCA tree lighting ceremony. Do go to Cars Land and check out their interesting and unique take on Christmas decorations. You can do this day or night. It doesn't require a lot of investment, but just walk down Route 66 when you have a chance, and you'll see some really fun Christmas decorations inside the shops as well. And while you're there, maybe take in a ride or two, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is to see how cool Cars Land is set up for Christmas. And do see Olaf's Snow Fest. That's coming back for Christmas this year, and that is a lot of fun. It's really cute inside. You get to play in the snow. There's a little hill you can slide down. You can meet Olaf. You can have some authentic, snacks that are from the area, from what, Norway or whatever I guess it's supposed to be. We got the Swedish meatballs there, which is not exactly Norway, but it's the same difference. We got those last year. It was meatballs. Well, I want to call them, maybe they weren't Swedish meatballs, but they were meatballs with lingonberries, which is basically Swedish meatballs in my opinion. And I really believe that the Olaf Snowfest is kind of an underrated attraction, or not attraction, but event. Super fun, guys. Oh my God! And they do the little live singing thing. Remember the lady who was doing like reindeer noises or whatever? She was adorable. I don't know if they're going to do that this year, but I mean, there's lots of fun things to do inside there. But if you do go to the Hollywood backlot, please avert your eyes from the rest of the backlot. Do not look. And I feel pity for you whose gaze does happen to fall upon the rest of the backlot, because it is still atrocious. Kind of, laser focus. Head straight into Olaf Snowfest and get in there. So there you go, Fresh Baked. Those are our tips and recommendations for surviving Christmas at Disneyland. And of course, let us know if we missed anything, or if some of your favorite to-do list items are not on this list, as I'm sure, everybody's got their favorites. Yeah, I mean, we'd like to hear what's on your Christmas to-do list as well. And are you going this year? Let's hear from the folks who are going to be there at Christmas this year. I want to hear from the folks who've never been to a Disneyland Christmas, and this is your first Christmas this year. Are you nervous? Because it's going to be packed. You could be sure of that. That's why they're telling all of us APs to stay away at Christmas, so more of you folks can come and visit your once-a-year Disneyland trip. So that's it, Fresh Baked. Those are our tips and recommendations, like I said. We'll see you next time. Bye, Fresh Baked! We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out our Secrets and History videos, or maybe our ride-throughs. Or you can just watch all of our weekly trip reports and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. It truly is the best of Disney Baked Fresh Daily. Oh, and don't forget, you can support Fresh Baked through our Patreon campaign, link below. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Fresh Baked!